So that happened. Yeah, Quinn Hughes is now on the Minnesota Wild. I am recording this about 5 minutes after he got traded. We are not messing around. We're rebuilding the Minnesota Wild for the next 5 years. Minnesota wasn't even a top 5 team I expected Quinn Hughes to go to. They have the assets. Well, they certainly have the assets because they went ahead and traded those assets for Quinn Hughes. I seem like an absolute idiot because in a video not that long ago, it was actually my Vancouver Canucks 10-year rebuild, I was saying there is no way any other team in the NHL trades for Quinn Hughes except for the New Jersey Devils because of how bad he wants to play with Jack and Luke. Apparently, I know nothing, and that's not really much of a surprise. He's joined the Minnesota Wild, and they are a super team. Well, I shouldn't say a super team. Let me not gas this team up way too much, but this is a very good team right here. So with this team being as good as they are, we're going to rebuild them over the next 5 years. We're going to win the Minnesota Wild a couple Stanley Cups. Jesper Wallsted's turning into a superstar. They just added Quinn Hughes, arguably the best defenseman in the game, to their team. Zebullium, I think he's an amazing young player. I don't think his ceiling is Quinn Hughes though. Marco Rossi, he's a great centerman, but I would trade both of those guys along with Ogren and a first round pick any day of the week, especially if you're walking away with Quinn Hughes. So I have not fully processed this deal. Like, this is literally 5 minutes after the trade happened. We are not messing around. So if you're wondering what the turnaround time for a video like this is, expect this video to be out in the next like 18 hours. I'm going to record this, I'm going to edit the video, and ideally it's up by like 9 a.m. tomorrow or something. So Minnesota, you just made a huge splash. Quinn Hughes and Kirill Kaprizov, that's what you're building around over the next couple of years. Matt Boldy, Brock Faber. Nah, this is a team right here. You have yourselves a team. We're just going to have to make a couple small adjustments. So with that being said, for year number 1, we are not doing too much. Like, I'm really not going to trade that much away. I think we just need to find a better number 2 centerman, and then we'll be good to go. Now, we're just going to make 2 trades. Trennan, Sturm, and Carson Lambos are all going to be sent over to the Nashville Predators. We're bringing in Ryan O'Reilly. He could be a really good second-line centerman for us. I think we also might be able to get a pick in this deal. Hopefully we can walk away with a 3rd rounder. They're going to be saying no. They're not really interested in Nico Sturm, but that's perfectly fine because you're still going to accept this deal anyway. Maybe not. Nico Sturm, I might have to trade you elsewhere. So you remember how I just said we were going to make 2 deals? We're actually making 3. The first thing we're doing is trading Ryan Hartman away. We just need to free up this money. A 4th rounder from the Calgary Flames is great, but we can get a 3rd rounder from the Carolina Hurricanes. I'll take a 3rd rounder. We just need to free up cap space. So let me try this deal again. Trennan, Carson Lambos, and a 3rd round pick sent over to the Nashville Predators. Ryan O'Reilly, welcome to the team. They're saying it's a little bit low. I'll give up a 7th round pick. I do not care about giving up a 7th rounder. Here you go. Ryan O'Reilly, welcome to the team. You're going to be an amazing second-line centerman for me, but I think we still have to make one more trade. Now, our final trade is going to be bringing in James Schwartz for this one season. He's an 84 overall. I'm not expecting him to be a superstar, but I think he could be a really good bottom 6 player for us, so that's why we're doing this deal. So now with those 3 trades completed, we're ready for season number 1. So here's the new look Minnesota Wild. Now, the forward core is not looking really that much different. We brought Ryan O'Reilly in, we brought James Schwartz in. It's the defense. Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber, Jared Spurgeon, Jonas Brodin, Jacob Milton, David Jiricek. This is an amazing defense, and you have 2 superstar goaltenders. This team is set for the future. The only thing I'm contemplating doing is trading Gustafsson away, and the only reason for that is over the next 2 seasons, he has no movement. We do need to free up a little bit of cap space, especially since Jesper Wallstedt is going to be our guy, so don't be overly surprised if we make a move at the deadline. So let's go ahead and simulate up to the trade deadline, but while I do that, if you are absolutely stunned that Quinn Hughes was just traded to the Minnesota Wild, subscribe to the channel because I am speechless. Like, I am completely stunned. Now, after acquiring Quinn Hughes, the Minnesota Wild are currently 7th in the entire league at the trade deadline, a 36-25-2 record. I thought the offense would be a little bit better right now. I guess that's just not the case. Also, I'm surprised the defense is as bad as it is because we have an elite defense. We have the best defense in the NHL, and I can confidently say that. Quinn Hughes, 71 points so far. Zuccarello, 57. Oh, that kind of explains it. For some reason, Kirill Kaprizov forgot how to score goals. Yeah, that kind of sums things up here. Ryan O'Reilly also hasn't been the greatest second line player in the world for us. Marcus Johansson is not doing his job on the 3rd line, but you know what? Things are still okay because we're going to make a move here, and that move involves trading Philip Gustafsson. We're going to get better by making this trade because Gustafsson, we just don't need you. Jesper Wallstedt is clearly the guy moving forward. He's an A5 overall. He's looking like a stud right now. Yeah, there's no point in paying both of you guys, especially since you have a no movement next season, so we have to move on from you now. Alright, so I'm going to keep it a stack. We are not playing around. It is Stanley Cup or bust every season. So Devin Levi and Tage Thompson, you're the guys we're going after. Gustafsson, a 1st, a 2nd, and 2 prospects are being sent over. I don't care what it takes. We will find a way to get this deal done. Like, even if we have to, you're off. I'm willing to trade you in this deal. I would like to hold on to you. One guy I was contemplating trading away here was Spurgeon. Unfortunately, his no movement doesn't allow for us to do that, so we're going to be holding on to him for a little bit longer. I guess I could try to throw in a couple more draft picks, but I highly doubt that's going to make the difference. Like, is a third rounder really more valuable than that prospect? It doesn't look like it, but we will get this deal done somehow. I don't know how, but we will. All right, so we're going to work on a 3-team trade. A first rounder, Nico Sturm's going to be sent over to Calgary. Morgan Frost is going to be brought in. We're going to be trading Morgan Frost over to the Buffalo Sabres now. I don't know if he's going to be the difference, but at least he fits their trade block. So is this package right here going to be enough for us to walk away with Devin Levi and Tage Thompson? They're going to be rejecting this offer. What if I give you another third round pick? If I have to throw in a valuable prospect, I'm willing to do so. I'm just hoping we don't have to do that. We have to add a little bit more. I don't know what else we can throw in this deal. Maybe a second round pick for like 2027 or something. If we have to trade a pick that's very far down the line, I'm willing to do so. And yeah, maybe that's what we do. Like, I'll give you a second rounder for 2028. Can that make the difference in this deal right there? They're saying no. Okay, we're going to do something that might seem really stupid. We have to understand, it's win now. We are trying to win right now. We don't want to mess around. All of the first round picks are being traded away. Or do I just take Devin Levi out of this deal and we get someone who has less value? Like Colton Ellis, what overall are you? You're a 79 overall. You can be a backup goaltender. So maybe we try something like this. Colton Ellis's value isn't nearly as much as Devin Levi's, and he can still be a decent enough backup goaltender for us. I'll throw in 2 third round picks as well. Hopefully this is going to be enough for Tage Thompson, Colton Ellis. I'm shipping it over. They're still saying no. I'm starting to think this deal might just be impossible. You're off. How many years left do you have under contract? Do I really care that much about you? You still have your entire entry-level contract, so you're going to help the team over the next 2 years when it comes to the salary cap, but I really want Tage Thompson, and I want Tage Thompson bad. So Morgan Frost, I might hold on to you here. It's going to be Gustafsson and Yurov sent over. Tage Thompson, Colton Ellis are being brought in. I think we might be making a mistake here, but you know what? We're going to find a way to make these mistakes work. And I mean, it's not really a mistake. We're getting Tage Thompson. He is one of the best options out there. I think more than likely he would be our new first line centerman, and then Ryan O'Reilly, we could actually probably trade you away. I know I brought you in to be our second line centerman, but things have changed. Okay, this is getting a little bit ridiculous. Morgan Frost, I'm throwing you in this deal as well. You were originally brought in to be a part of this trade. I thought once I threw you off in this deal, we wouldn't have to worry about you, but apparently we do. But you know what? I want you to give me something decent back in return. Give me Kulik. Now, is this deal going to be accepted? They're still saying no. I'll give you a second and third rounder. Drafting does not matter in this video whatsoever. The only thing that matters is winning Stanley Cups. They're saying no. I'll take Kulik out. Give me somebody who has basically no value. I mean, I say no value, but I do want somebody with a little bit of value, even if that guy is Peyton Krebs. Peyton Krebs, I'll bring you in. Now, is this deal going to be enough? Buffalo would be over the salary cap for next season. You're kidding me. Okay, so I have to take on somebody for like $2 million, but I could take on somebody for $2 million and then flip them away. Give me Jordan Greenway, and then I can trade Jordan Greenway elsewhere. You don't even want him on the team. This proposal would work, but we'd have to put Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen on waivers. You're killing me. First of all, you don't even value Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, so I don't even know why you're worried about that. So give me Alex Lyon instead. Is this deal going to be accepted? Buffalo's making this significantly harder than it has to be. Can they please accept? You know what? I'm getting sick and tired of it. It is all about winning Stanley Cups. I don't care what it costs anymore. We are trading every first round pick away. We don't need first round picks. Those are for teams that are trying to rebuild. We're trying to win. When it comes to everything that happens over the off season, players we have to re-sign, we are going to worry about that later. Until then, we have Stanley Cups on the mind. So after acquiring Tage Thompson, the Minnesota Wild were looking pretty solid. 6th in the entire league, a 47-30-5 record. We're one of the top teams in the NHL. 3.2 goals per game is still surprising. I feel like our offense should be better. Same with our defense. I feel like this team is just being let down by the simulation, because on paper, we have an amazing team. Kirill Kaprizov didn't really have the greatest offensive season, which doesn't really make sense to me. Tage Thompson, I'm kind of curious to see what you did since joining the team. I'm expecting big things. 9 goals and 9 assists for 18 points. You were +2 as well. I need numbers like that in the postseason from you. I need you to help us dominate. When it comes to goaltending, I'm assuming Alex Lyon was the backup and Jesper Wallstedt was the starter. And as a starter, he had 14 wins, a .911 save percentage, and a .282 goals against. So he's looking pretty solid. But as we know, the regular season does not matter. This team was constructed to win playoff games. We have the Dallas Stars in the first round. A Stanley Cup in year number 1 would be a great start to this video. But as long as we can walk away with at least 3 Stanley Cups over the next 5 years, I'll be happy. Now I'm fully investing into the superstars on this team. Kirill Kaprizov, Tage Thompson, Quinn Hughes. I need all of you guys to be the superstars for us. Why did we lose the first 2 games? Y'all better not lose the first 3 games. We're down 3-1. We're supposed to be winning Stanley Cups. I'm giving up every first round pick imaginable, and y'all are just completely folding. I need you to make the comeback here, win another game. That's exactly what you're doing. We were down 3-1, but now we're in game 7. So we have game 7 coming up between the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. This has been a tough series so far, but we need to cap off the comeback. We're moving into the second period, and we're going to score 2 goals. Eriksson and Tage Thompson are showing up for us. Close it out in the third period. Y'all didn't close it out. You allowed back-to-back goals after being up 3-1. We need to win overtime. We can't be a first round exit in year number 1. And in overtime, nobody scored. Okay, so we have double OT coming up. Do not fold in double overtime. What are you doing? What are y'all doing? I built you a Stanley Cup team, a team that's supposed to run through the NHL. And we're losing in year 1. No, I'm going to blame the NHL simulation. That one's not on me. Like, seriously. A first round exit. Even after all of those moves, the Minnesota Wild still lose in the first round. Nah, they're cursed. Plain and simple. Now, I think what makes this even worse is the Dallas Stars immediately are falling to the Winnipeg Jets in 5 games in the second round, and Winnipeg went on to lose in the Stanley Cup final to the Carolina Hurricanes. So there was a number of teams that would have beat us even if we got past Dallas. But seriously, Minnesota, what are y'all doing? You guys are supposed to be a super team, a team that is going to run through the NHL, and you completely let me down. Jesper Wallstedt, you didn't even pick up a shutout. You had one job. And you couldn't even do that. But you know what? It's fine. We have a majority of the key pieces coming back next season. We'll make a couple moves accordingly. And this team will be better next season. I can guarantee it. Also, I can confidently say we are not going to be drafting a lot of superstars today. So don't be surprised if Kinglerski, who is a 55 overall with medium top 6 potential, ends up being one of our best prospects. All right, so we only have $8.5 million, and we have to decide who we're bringing back. David Jiricek, I'm just going to qualify you as an RFA. I'm not even looking at your contract right now because I'll free up money in order to bring you back. Zuccarello, you're actually a pretty good playmaker for us. How much do you want though? 8.1 million. That's basically all of our cap space. But you know what? I don't hate it. So Zuccarello, I'm willing to bring you back to the team, but I do want to save some money. Hopefully we can do $7 million with a no movement, because really what's the difference between a no movement and a no trade? Not that much. I'll do 7.2 million. That's basically all of our cap space. Tarasenko's walking, Schwartz is walking, Marcus Johansson's going to be walking. A lot of players are walking, but we can find replacements for all these guys. So Zuccarello, are you going to be sticking around? It looks like it. We're left with 2.1 million. We're going to find some really cheap replacements. All right, so obviously before we do anything in free agency, Quinn Hughes, how much do you want? Because I'm willing to give you a blank check. Okay, you got to help me a little bit. I'm not doing a 1-year deal, Hughes. You will come back to this team. I'm just not doing a 1-year deal. Jared Spurgeon, I will trade you away though. I'm going to basically give all of your money to David Jiricek so we can bring him back to the team. Spurgeon, you're not a part of this team's future. You're 36 years old. I might as well try to get something for you. Alright, so when I was originally going to trade Jared Spurgeon away, the plan was to free up a bunch of money so we can give that to Jiricek. I've changed my mind. Spurgeon and 1 third-round picks can be sent over to Colorado. We're bringing in Nichushkin. Now, Nichushkin's going to be a really good second-line player for us. Once we make this deal, our top 6 is set for the rest of the video. It's basically going to be staying the exact same with no changes. Now, when it comes to some of the other players on this team, we have to trade them away just to free up some cap space. So Marcus Foligno, I can't afford your $4 million next season, so I'm going to send you over to the Boston Bruins and get a 5th and 7th rounder. And then another guy we have to trade away, not really for next season, but just because I don't want him on the team, Jordan Greenway. I'm not giving you $4 million. Colorado, do you really want him? Edmonton, you can have him. I'll take a 7th round pick. So that frees up a bunch of money so we can improve our bottom 6. But on top of improving our bottom 6, we can also bring David Jiricek back to the team. So Jiricek, how much are you looking for? I'm assuming you're going to be a pretty cheap defenseman. Let's do 4 years at $3 million because you're going to keep on developing. I'm going to put you into a second pairing role this season. This is going to turn out to be an absolute steal for us. And then of course, as I mentioned with Hughes, we'll figure that one out later. I just want to sign him to a multi-year deal. I'm not doing any 1-season deals with him. Also, before I completely forget, Jesper Wallstedt, we have to bring you back as well, and you want 8.3 million. Finding a way to re-sign Hughes is definitely going to be tough, but we will get it done. So what I'm looking to find is a cheap right defenseman. I'm talking about somebody looking for like $1 million, but I only want it to be a 1-year deal. So who is going to be willing to accept that? Bortuzzo's looking for 2.5 million. That's a little bit too much for me. Niels Lundqvist, honestly, you wouldn't be too bad, and you're a UFA. We might go with you. However, Bernard Docker is actually a very good pickup. I know it's 3 years, but at this price tag, I'm perfectly fine with it. So we're bringing him in. And then when it comes to the rest of this team, cheap forwards. I'm talking like $1-2 million forwards. Eric Holla, yes, you're 35 years old, but you can play a bottom six role in our team. Here's $1.8 million. That is all I'm focused on right now. Cheap players that are willing to accept 1-year deals. Or a guy like Michael Carcone who's only looking for $1.1 million. I can bring him in. Duhaime's looking for $2 million on a 1-year deal. I can definitely do that, so he's going to be joining the team as well. Now, our bottom six is certainly not going to be elite by any means here. However, we're going to have cheap players that are going to play their role, and honestly, that's all we really need. Cal Yarcrow, I'm not really interested in 2 years, but you know what? At this price tag, we'll find a way to make it work. Here's $1.2 million. And then we'll finish it off with Torpchenko. He's looking for $1.9 million. I can do that for 1 season. With all of these signings, I'm pretty sure our team's ready to roll. And then when it comes to Quinn Hughes, as I mentioned, we'll figure that extension out later. All right, so David Jiricek's going to be hurting me. He's not going to be accepting the offer we sent him, so that might throw a wrench into the plans. Or not, because the Montreal Canadiens are going to send an offer sheet our way, $2 million for the next 2. I'm just going to match that, because why wouldn't I? So unfortunately, we're not keeping him around for the rest of the rebuild quite yet. However, he's sticking on the team for the next 2 for sure. We went ahead and made a couple adjustments over the offseason, but you see this top 6 right here. This is likely our top 6 for the rest of the video. We don't have to make too many changes. Minnesota basically has everyone under contract. We just need to find a way to sign Quinn Hughes, but I don't think that's going to be too difficult, because worst case scenario, we just trade Jonas Brodin away. If I don't have enough money for Quinn Hughes, even after the salary cap goes up, if I have to, Jonas Brodin will be traded away, and that frees up our money. Also, Jesper Wallsted's a 90 overall, so he's ready to do his thing. When it comes to this rebuild, I'm going to keep it a stack. We basically did 90% of our work in year number 1. We're just simulating moving forward. We'll make a couple small tweaks as we have to, but I don't think we're going to be doing anything major moving forward. Also, I guess I should double check with Quinn Hughes. Maybe he's willing to sign for multiple seasons now. I don't know if we'll have the cap space for him, which we don't. He wants $15 million for 1 season. Honestly, I think once the salary cap goes up, we'll be able to bring him back, no problem. So with all that being said, in year number 2, we're simulating right to the end of the season. We're not going to be able to afford to make any moves. The team we have right now is the team we're sticking with. Now, after all the moves we made, the Minnesota Wild, they're going to be finishing 4th in the entire league with a 48-26-8 record. 3.33 goals per game is actually pretty solid. When it comes to our defense, 2.71, a massive improvement from last season. I was questioning our defense last season, and now it might actually be the best in the entire league. We have the 2nd best defense. You know what? Things are looking pretty good for Minnesota. Quinn Hughes, 84 points. Kirill Kaprizov, score goals again. Why are you just not scoring goals? Granted, the first line is just scoring a lot of goals. 34 goals, 29 goals, 27 goals. But seriously, on a line of Kirill Kaprizov, Zuccarello, and Tage Thompson, the guy scoring the least amount of goals right now, Kirill Kaprizov. Who would have thought? Now, when it comes to goaltending, it's no surprise Jesper Wallstedt was a superstar. 43 wins, 3 shots, a 923 and a 248. He's definitely ready for the postseason. But before we head to the postseason and our first round matchup against the Colorado Avalanche, Quinn Hughes, let me just check in on you. Like, I know I don't have the cap space to re-sign you right now. I'm just curious on how much you're looking for. $15 million for the next 8. Yeah, we can definitely do this in the future. But you know what? We're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to worry about this first round matchup where we're taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Now, I can only assume Minnesota's ready for a deep postseason run. They're ready to finally make it out of the first round. We're exchanging the first 2 games, so that's not a terrible start. We're moving into game number 3, and in game 3, we're allowing 2 goals. Okay, we are not doing good. I mean, allowing 2 goals in this game wasn't really the main problem. It was the fact that we didn't score any goals. We are down 3-1. There is just no way, after acquiring Quinn Hughes, we just refuse to make it out of the first round. This team has all the talent in the world, and you're telling me we're going to find a way to lose in the first round once again? Maybe not. We're scoring a bunch of goals in the 3rd period, 5 goals to be exact. Can this be the difference maker? Can this generate some offense for us? Can it build some momentum? We have to win 2 more games. I know y'all can do it. Last season, we were almost able to make the 3-1 series comeback, but we fell in game 7. This time, we're not going to allow that to happen. And when I say we're not going to allow that to happen, I don't mean lose in game 6. Do not lose in game 6 here. Michael Carcone is a superhero. He's scoring a goal with 30 seconds left. Pick up the hat trick in OT. We lost again in overtime. That is the 2nd year in a row we've lost in the first round because of an overtime goal. There is no way Minnesota just isn't seeing success. Nah, this game is stupid. I hate this game. This game is so dumb. You're telling me this Minnesota Wild team is a first round exit in back-to-back years. I understand the franchise is cursed, but even this is a little bit ridiculous. So the Carolina Hurricanes are going to go back-to-back. They're winning another Stanley Cup here. What is going on with Minnesota? Maybe we need a new head coach. Maybe we need to fire the head coach and bring in a more offense-oriented one, because apparently Kirill Kaprizov just doesn't score goals with this team. 3 goals in 6 games. You're supposed to be the superstar. You're supposed to be the guy alongside Quinn Hughes that leads this team to greatness. Michael Carcone had as many goals as you. If that doesn't sum up the failure of this season, I don't know what does. Meanwhile, Jesper Wallstedt, stop the puck for me. Come on, man. I know you're capable of it. Now, before we sim to the draft, the salary cap has gone up. Quinn Hughes, do we have enough money to give you an extension? We have $22 million in extension dollars, so bringing back Quinn Hughes should be pretty easy. So what we're going to do is $14.5 million for the next 7 years. That's $1.5 million less than double what he's getting paid right now. So yeah, that's a pretty big increase. Also, when it comes to some other players, Ryan O'Reilly, more than likely you're going to leave the team. Actually, I take that back. Ryan O'Reilly will keep you around, because I'm going to do like $3.4 million with a no movement. You definitely do your job on the bottom 6, and for $3.4 million, I think that's an absolute steal. With everyone else, we're probably just going to try to find cheap replacements in free agency, except for Riley Height. I guess I can give you a new extension. Here's $950K. You might play 4th line minutes next season. Now, we did have 6 draft picks to work with, but unfortunately, this wasn't the greatest draft in the world, so we're not going to be walking away with anything notable. Now, during the re-sign phase, I think the only guy I'm interested in bringing back is going to be Torpchenko. I'll do $1.9 million for 1 season. Eric Holla, Duhaime, Hinostroza, all of you guys are going to be walking. Hunt, I can probably bring you back to the team. You could probably play some cheap third pairing minutes for me. So if I did 3 years at basically $975K, would you be willing to accept that? I think there's a pretty good possibility he will. And then when it comes to this other young prospect, how about we do 3 years with him, $900K? You might play 4th line minutes for me. When it comes to everyone else, we're looking at 2-way contracts, or I'm just going to be signing rookies. Alright, so when it comes to handing out extensions, we could be in a little bit of trouble. Brodin, Zuccarello, and Jiricek. I don't know how we're going to be able to afford all of these guys. Brodin, how much are you looking for? $7.4 million. If I'm being honest, the most important guy here is probably Jiricek, considering he's the youngest. He's looking for $6 million. We can make this happen. But how about we save a little bit, so we'll do 5.7 for the next 3. When it comes to Zuccarello, he is 39 years old, so we can't really be looking for too much. He wants $8.9 million. We're going to hold off with Zuccarello, because ideally at the end of the season, maybe we can just do a 1-year extension. And then when it comes to Jonas Brodin, I think we should just embrace him for the rest of this video. He's a really solid defenseman for us, so here's $6.5 million for the next 4 years. He's going to be sticking around. Jiricek sticking around. Michael Carcone, you were one of our top postseason performers, so I'll definitely do $1.1 million. You deserve to stick around. You've been an absolute stud for us, but let's go spend some money in free agency. When I say let's go spend money, we have $5 million. We really can't do too much. So with that money, who are we going to be able to sign here? Well, Ross Colton's an option for the bottom 6. I don't think he'd be too bad. So I'll do 2.8 for 1 season, and Ross Colton will join the team. We're going to be left with about $3.3 million, and with that final $3 million, who are we going to bring to the team? Luosterainen would not be a bad guy on the 4th line. However, I like Amadio a little bit more just because he's looking for less money, so here's $2.1 million, and then maybe we can find one more player who's only looking for $1 million. And I think I found that player. We're bringing Kiviranta to the team, $1.1 million for the next 2. I need you to play some 4th line minutes, and I know you can do that. So we're basically running it back with 90% the exact same team as last season. The only changes came to our bottom 6. Goaltending is looking the exact same. Oh, I forgot to get a backup goaltender. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and sign a backup goaltender. I'm probably not going to show you. It'll just be some 79 overall. But yeah, we could use a backup goaltender. I can't have Jesper Wallstedt playing every game. The only thing I'm considering right now is moving Joel Eriksson down to the 3rd line, because if I do that, we get a +5 boost on the 2nd line. Is that worth it? Are we better off getting a +5 boost here with Joel Eriksson playing on the 3rd line, or should we just have the higher overall play up here? You know what? We're going to play risky. Eriksson, you're playing 3rd line minutes this season. I guess we're going to see how well Matt Boldy, Ryan O'Reilly, and Nadeshik can play together. But you know what? Hold on. I'm actually backtracking a little bit. Joel Eriksson, you were really good on the 2nd line last season, so let's not change that up. I'm keeping you on the 2nd line. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And things were not broke for us last season until the playoffs came around. Up until then, we were looking really good. Also, I guess I will show you the goaltender that we signed. Who is that going to be? Michael DiPietro? You can be that guy. Welcome to the team. Here's $800K for 1 season. Also, similar to last season, and probably for the rest of this video, we're not going to be stopping at the trade deadline because we have no money to work with. Now, normally, I would say I'm disappointed by how this season went for the Minnesota Wild. 9th in the entire league, a 46-31-5 record, an absolute disgrace. The defense was worse. The offense, I think, was slightly better. It might have been 1 goal better, but I can't really be disappointed considering I'm about to be even more disappointed disappointed once we move into the playoffs because we all know what's going to happen in the postseason. This team's going to completely choke. They're going to find a way to lose in the first round once again. Jesper Wallstedt, you might be a 91 overall, and you might have just posted some amazing numbers. We're losing in 6 games. We're taking on the Dallas Stars again. Don't lose again. I think it's kind of funny how at the beginning of this video, I was joking about us 4-peating, maybe even 5-peating. Yeah, we haven't even got out of the first round yet. Don't lose in the first round once again. Find a way to win. We're winning game number 1 and we're winning game 2. You can't choke this away. There is no way you blow a 2-0 series lead. We are up 3-0. Just keep on winning. Minnesota might have finally figured it out. Minnesota's starting to win games now. Things are finally looking up for the franchise, but now we have the Colorado Avalanche. Now the Avs are going to be a very good team. If we can get past the Avs, then I think we actually might win the Stanley Cup, but we need to get past the Avalanche. We're exchanging the first 2 games. Can we win game 3? No, we can't, but we're winning game 4. So it's a best of 3 moving forward, with the most important game being game number 5. Can we somehow win that one? No, we can't, because why would we win an important game? So we have game 6 coming up. We need to win back-to-back games. I know we have the offense to score goals here. I just need those players to step up. Michael Carcone has been a superstar for us. He is one of our best players. Nichushkin's picking up a 3rd period goal, and we have game 7. If we win game 7, we've made it to the conference finals. Nothing before this matters anymore. The regular season doesn't matter. This is the only game that matters. I need you to find a way to win. You're allowing the first 2 goals of the game. You are off to a terrible start. In the second, we're making a comeback. We were down 3-0 at one point, but now it's a tie game. We're moving into the third. I need the offense to keep on rolling. No way you just did that. 3 goals in the 3rd period. Y'all had one job. Keep the puck out of the net. 6 goals allowed. We can't win any elimination games. I shouldn't say that though, because we just won elimination game 4-2. But even still, we finally made it out of the first round. Colorado's taking us down again. Everyone folded. Maybe I should have held on to Gustafsson. Maybe he would have been a better option. The thing is though, Gustafsson would have been our backup. He just would have been an expensive backup for us because Jesper Wallsted's a 91 overall. The Edmonton Oilers are Stanley Cup champions. We have 2 years left to win a Stanley Cup. I'm starting to think it might be slightly impossible. We might have to trade the next decade of 1st round picks away in order for this team to win. The top 6 was amazing, and the bottom 6 really wasn't that bad. Okay, the bottom 6 is a problem. -7, -4, -3, -3. We have to make some adjustments. We have to make some adjustments to the bottom 6. Jesper Wallstedt, for once, the numbers weren't atrocious. We just couldn't win that additional game. So we have 2 years left in the rebuild. Obviously, we're not winning 4 Stanley Cups, but if we can walk away with 1 at this point, I'll call that a success. Now we finally got our first mediumly potential player in the draft. Unfortunately, it is a goaltender, so it's not like this guy's gonna have crazy value by any means. However, he might help us get a good bottom 6 player. So we've moved on to the re-sign phase. We have $12 million to work with. When it comes to Zuccarello, we can sign him on a really cheap deal. That's what I was looking for. We're gonna play him on the top line for 1 more season. We're gonna be looking at around $5 million. I think that's an amazing deal for us. Zuccarello's gonna be sticking around. Everyone else on the bottom 6, they're out the door. All right, so we got to make some aggressive moves, and I'm not really 100% sure what those moves are going to be. Joel Eriksson, how much are you looking for? $10 million is quite a bit for you, but I like you on the second line. I think you play your role there. I want to save some money though, and it looks like we can do $9 million for the next 3. So that's what I'm going to offer Joel Eriksson. When it comes to Jacob Middleton, we're probably going to trade him away. He's going to be looking for way too much money considering he's only a 3rd pairing guy. So Middleton, we're moving on from you. And then when it comes to basically a lot of the other guys here, we're just looking for 2-way contracts. I mean, Riley Heidt wants $1.4 million, but I'm perfectly fine with giving him that. He's going to be playing a 4th line role for us. Bernard Docker, I can do 2.1 for the next 2 years, and I think that's really all we have to worry about. I'll give a handful of these guys 2-way contracts, but we got to make some big moves here. Okay, so this is what we're going to do with Jacob Middleton, because clearly we need some bottom 6 scoring. Zach Hyman, you're joining the team. I don't think we can get a 2nd and 3rd round pick. I'll take the 3rd round route. Can we at least get a 2nd? They're going to say no to that. What if I give you a 3rd round pick? Can we swap a 3rd round pick for a 2nd rounder? It looks like we can. So we're going to keep on making improvements to the bottom 6. Now Dawson Mercer is going to be joining the team. I'm giving up a 2nd rounder for him, and ideally the last trade we make is bringing in a playmaker for the bottom 6. All right, so this is going to be the final deal. A 2nd and 4th rounder over to Ottawa. Claude Giroux, welcome to the team. The main reason I'm making this deal is he has X factors, and we all know what X factors mean in NHL 26. Now through all the moves we've made, we have a very good top 9. Not only a top 6 this season, but a top 9. I'm thinking this should be enough. We have enough depth on this team. I just need all of these guys to show up. Now we're getting to the final 2 seasons and I'm getting pretty nervous. Is this team good enough? On paper, we look fantastic. Arguably the best team in the entire league. For some reason, we just can't win playoff games. We win a lot of regular season games. Once we get to the playoffs though, we always find a way to choke. So Minnesota, just don't do that this season. I need y'all to figure it out. This is the best team I've constructed. This is the best team we've seen so far in the rebuild. So at the bare minimum, I need a conference finals appearance. When I bring out this move right here, you know I'm desperate. And I am desperate to change things up. Minnesota, I need you to win a Stanley Cup. I am not asking for too much. Asking for too much would be having a team of only 80 overall players and asking them to win a Stanley Cup. You have multiple 90s on this team, multiple superstars on this team, and we are about to lose in the first round for the 3rd time in this video. I'm firing the head coach. The head coach is out the door. We are bringing in a new head coach for the final season because it's not the roster. It's the coaching staff at this point. There is no way it's the roster. There's no weaknesses with the roster. Everyone is elite. Jesper Wallstedt is a superstar goaltender. Why on earth did we only win 43 games this season? Why did Kirill Kaprizov do nothing? Why did Tage Thompson do nothing? Why did Quinn Hughes all of a sudden do nothing? None of these guys showed up for us. Everyone was terrible. Jesper Wallstedt had 7 shutouts, but I believe his goals against was still below 3. We were a wild card team this season. The Minnesota Wild just can't figure it out. It only makes sense that after they trade for Quinn Hughes, they still can't see success in the playoffs. Nah, this just isn't right. One more season, one more chance to win a Stanley Cup. Nah, like I believe I have built a good team here. The Detroit Red Wings Stanley Cup champions. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Over the offseason, I'm going to trade like 5 first-round picks. I'm bringing in a superstar playmaker to play on the top line. We are going to trade every asset imaginable away. All right, so we're going all in. Brayden Point, I don't care if you're not the player you used to be. Your trade value is dropped and you're 90 overall. Joel Eriksson and a first-round picks being sent over. We're done playing. All right, so now we're going to ship out the 18th overall, a 2nd round pick in Riley Heidt, Michael Misa. We're going to try to acquire you. If I have to give up 2nd round picks from like 2035, I'm willing to do so. I don't care what it takes. Michael Misa's joined the team. So this is what the top 6 is going to be looking like. Kirill Kaprizov, Matt Boldy, Brayden Point, Tage Thompson, Michael Misa, Nichushkin. On the bottom 6, we have Dawson Mercer, Michael Carcone, Zach Hyman. We will try to find a way to re-sign you. Ben Ack, you can play a role on this team. When it comes to the defense, that's basically set in stone, and when it comes to goaltending, that's set in stone as well. So I think what we have to try to do here is find an underrated bottom 6 player. Okay, so here's gonna be the last trade we make. Zetterlund, I'm bringing you to the team. This better be enough. Okay, we have to throw in a 7th round pick. I don't really care. This better be enough for us to win a Stanley Cup. Like, no more failures moving forward. We have one more opportunity. Now, we're still left with $10 million in cap space. Zuccarello, you're not coming back to the team. Carcone, you're not coming back to the team. You know what? We're not re-signing anyone here. We're going to free agency, and we're going to find some stars. Even though I really don't think there's any stars out there for us. We'll try to find somebody. All right, so who are we looking at for forwards? Granlund honestly might not be that bad of a pickup, and I think he is one of our best options here, so that's who we're bringing in. Here's $5.9 million for 1 season. Mikael Granlund, welcome to Minnesota. Jake Neighbors, I can definitely pick you up for the bottom 6 as well. I'll do $4 million for 1 season. I know I didn't give you one of your promises, so you're likely not going to join the team. I honestly didn't realize until after I didn't give one of his promises. Kemmel, I guess we can throw a contract at you as well. I'll do 4.7 for 1 season. Now, with all those deals offered, we should be able to win. I'm just lying to myself, though. I know we're going to be a 1st round exit. So Jake Neighbors is going to be rejecting because we didn't give him his request, and honestly, I'm not surprised at that. We still walked away with Kemmel, though. Okay, here we go. It's the final run. Brayden Point, Tage Thompson, Kirill Kaprizov. If this line doesn't contribute to at least 200 goals this season, then I just give up. We went ahead and got a new head coach. We went and got a new power play coach. We just got a new coaching staff here. The defense is the exact same. The forward core is looking basically the same, but we have a new coach. We have a coach we can trust, and that coach is Rod Brind'Amour. So if he can't fix this team right here, nobody can. I'm not gonna lie, I will be very annoyed though if we dominate the NHL and we win the President's Trophy, because that just tells me if we would have gotten a new coach a long time ago, we would have been perfectly fine. Also, the reason I didn't get a new coach a while ago is because he was an A+ overall. John Hines was perfectly fine. Like, he had A+ across the board in absolutely all of the categories that we needed. So why on earth would I replace him? But apparently, he's just not a good coach in this game. That is what I learned today. So it all comes down to this. One final postseason run, second in the entire league, a 52-22-8 record. We were scoring 3.78 goals per game, the best so far. Our defense was also almost the best so far, 2.88. I think the best we had was 2.71, but our goal differential is definitely the best it's ever been. And why is that? Because of Rod Brind'Amour. Plain and simple. Kirill Kaprizov learned how to score goals again. Just want to point this out. 49 goals. That is the most he's had by far so far in this video. Let's move on over to Tage Thompson, who had 40 goals. I believe this is also the most he's had so far in this video, and it has been by a long shot. I don't know if that's just the fact that Brayden Point is now their primary playmaker, but we have to remember, Zuccarello was still a high overall. Like, he was an 88 overall, so there's no reason we should see this crazy of a jump because of Brayden Point. Quinn Hughes, 17 goals, 75 assists for 92 points. Jesper Wallstedt, 43 wins, 8 shots, a 912 and a 264, but none of this matters. We have been through this time and time again. The only thing that matters is winning a Stanley Cup right here. So here we go, Minnesota. You know what you have to do. You have to win 16 playoff games, but the first thing we have to do is win one playoff game, and then after you win one playoff game, win 2 playoff games. Just take it one game at a time. We're winning the first 2 games. We're off to a pretty good start. Can we win the third game though? Let's beat Chicago in game 3. Now beat them in game 4. Take them down in a sweep. Do not blow a 3-0 series lead. Whatever you do, do not blow a 3-0 series lead. I just feel like that's coming, but we don't have to worry about it. We're taking down Chicago and we're moving on to the second round. Now we've only made it to the second round one time in this video. We're taking on the Dallas Stars. Beat Dallas. Whatever you do, just beat Dallas right here. Find a way to get past the Dallas Stars. We've won the first 2 games. Make that the first 3. Okay, we swept the Dallas Stars. We're moving on to the conference finals. Give me 8 more wins. You've been able to win 8 games so far. Now you just have to win another 8. The Calgary Flames are the next team up. We can't stop. We have to keep on rolling. We're winning the first 2 games. Make that the first 3. Okay, we are 12-1. Do not screw this up. The Washington Capitals are the only team in front of you. Do not screw this up. We can't do this. We are 12-1 in the postseason. We have lost 1 game. Back-to-back sweeps. The Washington Capitals are the only team in front of us. Take down Washington and we can be Stanley Cup champions. We split the series. We can't afford to drop game 5. Win me game number 5. We're doing it in overtime. Close it out right here. One more victory. That is all I need. We did it. We finally did it. It might have taken 5 seasons, and it might have taken a coaching change. And the second we changed our coach, by the way, we won a Stanley Cup. Although I am happy we won, I am still very annoyed. Kirill Kaprizov, you learned how to score goals again. 16 goals, 12 assists, 28 points. Quinn Hughes, 2 goals, 18 assists, 20 points. Tage Thompson, 6 goals, 13 assists, 19 points. The entire team showed up for me. Dawson Mercer, Granlund, they were producing on the third line, and that's what we've been missing for a long time. When it comes to goaltending, Jesper Wallstedt finally did it. 16 wins, 4 shutouts, a 927 and a 219. We have won the Minnesota Wild a Stanley Cup. So Minnesota, if you plan on seeing postseason success in the future, Quinn Hughes is a great start. The team is looking amazing. Fire your coach immediately. I don't care if he has a good regular season record. Fire him and then somehow get Rod Brind'Amour away from the Carolina Hurricanes. Good luck with that, because that is 100% not happening. But Minnesota, I finally won you a Stanley Cup. This video was kind of all over the place. Expectations were high the entire time, and it took until year 5 for us to finally meet those expectations.